Hello and welcome to another episode of the Ask and Stars channel. My name is Stefan, and today we're going to be changing the saddle of the AVX mount to the ADM version of the saddle. The main reason for this change is that in the case of the ADM mount, the ADM saddle, the dovetail is being squeezed between the two plates instead of being kind of drilled into by the two screws of the usual saddle of the AVX mount. And those screws do damage, and this is only after one use on the AVX regular saddle. I had initially started doing this video and had to stop it because I encountered a major issue. One of the screws was extremely difficult to remove, and I actually had to drill the head off that screw in order to be able to remove the saddle before installing the new one. Our next step is now to remove the saddle itself. There are a couple of ways to do this. You can either immobilize the saddle while you unscrew, or keep it moving so as not to damage the locking mechanism. If you opt for the version where you keep it unlocked, I strongly suggest to use a spare dovetail that you lock into place, and then you'll be able to unscrew the 4 screws, 3 in this case because I had to drill that one out, the screws with a minimum of effort. Except when it's completely locked up. I would strongly suggest unlocking in this case and using a wrench, this type of wrench with the appropriate head in order to remove the 4 screws. And as you press really hard on the screws and unscrew them, you can use the dovetail that you've installed in the saddle to prevent it from turning while you are unscrewing the 4 screws. The reason you'll get more strength is due to the length of the ratchet, and that makes it much easier to remove the screws. I should have used this from the start. Unfortunately, I did not, and that's how the X inside started to lose its shape, because I was not pushing hard enough on my key in order to try to unscrew it, and then it was not possible to undo them. Another suggestion that I would provide is, if they are really hard to remove, before you start damaging the head of the screw, use some WD-40 or any other lubricant for metal in order to help you. Don't put too much, just enough so that the screws have been wetted by the lubricant agent, and then you wait a couple of hours before trying to remove the screws. Okay, so now we're going to be removing the screws. And they're going to be very easy because they've already been loosened. And once this is done, we'll be able to remove the saddle itself. Ensure that it's not locked. If you kept it locked, ensure that it's unlocked. Oh, and before then, might as well remove that locking mechanism. Okay, we'll remove this. To remove the locking mechanism, we'll do it afterwards. You slowly raise this. If it's locked, unlock it beforehand. Now, to remove the locking mechanism itself, you use a screwdriver, star screwdriver. Remove this part. Ensure that it is in the unlocked position, otherwise you'll have difficulties removing this bronze portion. You'll see the dark component here inside, and as I unscrew this, that component is going within the piece, and that's what rubs against the other metal part in order to lock the saddle in place. So you carefully remove this, ensuring that the black portion is there also. Okay, and that concludes the removal of the saddle. What you need to verify now is that look for the teflon component. Since you can see that there is no teflon component within, you have to look on top of the saddle itself, and as you can see, the teflon part is here on the saddle. Okay, so we'll keep it there. Now the next step, if you haven't already unscrewed these two elements in order to detach the top part of the saddle so that you can fix the bottom part of the saddle to the mount itself, it's time to do it. Again, using the right key in order to do so. Done. Okay, and we can now install this the bottom part of the saddle to the mount itself. When installing the bottom part of the saddle, you need to ensure that the locking mechanism system is on the same side as the other locking mechanism that you find on the mount. So when fixing that part, you need to then align the holes of the bottom part with the other holes and screw in your 4 screws, 3 in my case, because of the fact that one of them was destroyed. So you use the appropriate key in order to screw those in. Once all the screws are in, you then insert the locking mechanism inside, ensuring that there is that black portion on top of the key to make it, this is the portion that will be rubbing against the internal mechanism to stop the saddle from turning. So you ensure that it is properly placed, and then you insert it inside all the way to lock, and then you place the handle. Now you have to be careful. If you place the handle too close to the locking point, you might have difficulties turning the saddle. So I would suggest installing it a bit further so that you will definitely be able to turn. Okay, and then you close it. Yeah, now it's locked. Now it's unlocked. And you install the screw so that the handle does not fall off. And now you verify it turns. And then you lock. Go. This is locked. Also, now the next step is to install the last element, which is the saddle itself. Now, you are able to install it this way, but the problem would be you have your locking mechanism on this side and the elements to lock and unlock the dovetail on the saddle that makes it so that there are too many components on the same side. I would suggest installing the saddle this way so that you have the locking mechanism on one side and you have the handles to lock your telescope in place on the other. So this is what I would be doing, installing the screw. So the best way would be to make sure that the holes are visible and then you screw them in place. You then screw both screws in order to ensure that they are secure, and you are done replacing your initial saddle on the AVX to the new AMD saddle. This new saddle will not cause as much damage to the dovetail of your system. You now know how to replace your initial AVX saddle by a new ADM saddle. And until next time, I wish you clear skies. If you liked the content of this video, I would appreciate it if you could click on the like and or the subscribed button. This way it will encourage me to create some additional videos regarding astrophotography. If you have suggestions or comments, please leave them below. This will help me create better content for the Ast and Stars channel. You can also show your support by mentioning my name and the name of the channel when you are purchasing astrophotography material.